The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward.
Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him. Off of Justin Bieber alone.
The lawyer representing Diddy's victims has recently released a list of well-known celebrities who were reportedly there when Diddy took advantage of his victims. So get ready for some stunning news. I promise you that the names on this list are astounding. Rumors have been circulating about several celebrities who may have been participating in these occurrences, in addition to having observed them, ever after Diddy came under investigation. The most unsettling discovery? Numerous fatalities were young people, some as young as 9 years old, who were keen to establish themselves in the field. Rather of receiving guidance, they were frightened by a horrific nightmare. The lawyer for these victims is now prepared to provide proof to support their allegations and to identify key players in the sector who contributed to the issue. Let's get started. The entertainment industry has been rocked by attorney Tony Buzbee's announcement that his company represents an astounding 120 victims.
We now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs.
Instead, they are individually bringing separate civil lawsuits, which may lead to an endless court fight and give each victim a chance to share their experience and expose what is purportedly what occurred. Diddy isn't the only one being investigated, however. Buzbee said unequivocally that everyone who took part, kept quiet, or assisted in hiding these acts would be held responsible. Nobody is getting away with it. Although particular identities have not yet been revealed, Buzbee stressed that his staff is carefully verifying every detail so that they would have enough proof to support the accusations when those names are revealed. And believe me, the business will undoubtedly be rocked by these names, even athletes and politicians. It's not just people. Buzbee made hints that Diddy's alleged misbehavior could have been enabled by whole companies, including banks, nightclubs, and hotels, but blamed these companies for donating domain names, including Dara, golf parks. It's still unclear how many individuals Diddy silenced or threatened in order to protect himself from the consequences. Equally shocking were the demographics of the victims that Buzbee disclosed. About 60% of the victims his business represents are Black, 30% are white, and the other victims are a mix of Asian and Hispanic people. The firm represents about equal numbers of male and female victims. These victims range widely in age, some of whom were startlingly young when they allegedly met Diddy. During these instances, around 25 victims were underage. The industry is in complete chaos as a result of this case, which has also sparked serious concerns regarding the seriousness of these charges. Get ready for something unsettling if you've ever wondered how Diddy was able to get so close to so many young boys and girls. Many of these children allegedly fell victim to Diddy's web after being enticed by grand promises of fame and wealth during casting calls and tryouts. As these enthusiastic aspirants, keen to get into the business, fell into what has now been called a dangerous trap, what seemed to be a once-in-a-lifetime chance swiftly became a terrible experience.
Most of these events and incidents occurred at parties, typically after parties, or album release parties, New Year's Eve parties, 4th of July parties, something they called a puppy party, all-white party, although several of these events occurred at auditions. Many times, especially young people wanting to break into the industry, were coerced into this type of conduct. In the promise of being made a star, or in the promise of having Sean Combs listen to their tape or even let them read for Sean Combs. You should know that some of this behavior occurred at well-known venues in New York City. Some of this behavior occurred at private residences of people that we all know. Some of this behavior occurred at hotels that we're all familiar with.
However, it becomes much more unsettling. Busby claims that more than half of these victims had previously told the police about their encounters and subsequently sought medical attention. But for some reason, these cases inexplicably disappeared. The truth is still there, regardless of whether it was hidden for other dubious reasons or rejected for lack of proof. Numerous victims had drug tests, according to the records. High levels of drugs, including horse tranquilizers, were found in their systems, according to the startling findings. Here's the terrifying explanation for how these people were unintentionally exposed to such a strong substance. At Diddy's notorious parties, it was said that drinks were tampered with. You couldn't refuse a drink. You would be shown the door without any questions if you declined one. Tony Busby isn't going to stop. While disclosing the unsettling trends that emerge from these victims' accounts, he is keeping their names secret. Even though Diddy is facing a lot of criticism, it's becoming more and more obvious that he couldn't have carried out these claimed activities by himself. Since each narrative follows an unsettlingly similar pattern, he had strong supporters. A-listers was captured by the A-listers. In the crossfire, Jay-Z and Beyoncé are undoubtedly one of the most talked about high-profile couples. They seemed to be inseparable from Diddy for a while, creating a powerful triumvirate that was often seen together at ostentatious gatherings and parties. But when Diddy became involved in legal troubles, things took a drastic turn, and Jay-Z and Beyoncé immediately separated. In an attempt to avoid any possible repercussions from being associated with Diddy, Jay-Z even went so far as to call off his popular Roc Nation brunch. Despite their apparent stability, the rumors and mounting evidence behind the scenes paint a different picture. Long-running suspicions that Diddy and Jay-Z have a deeper connection than just friendship have only served to stoke the flames. Diddy's flirty demeanor at events has drawn attention from onlookers, suggesting that their late-night adventures may not have been as harmless as they seemed. But hold on, things grow much more hazy. According to those with knowledge of the matter, Beyoncé may have even attended Diddy's infamous parties. Unsettling rumors claim that a compromising footage of Diddy and Beyoncé is circulating and is allegedly about to be sold. Attorney Arielle Mitchell-Kidd revealed startling details about a client who was suing Diddy for a terrible event, which gave rise to this narrative. She claims that in 2018, this client ran across Diddy at a friend's party. She accepted a drink and quickly became ill after discovering it had been tampered with. It was terrible what came next. Christina Coram, Diddy's secretary, and often referred to as his right hand, reportedly watched as Diddy allegedly hit her with an item as another guy took part. During the attack, the victim disturbingly overheard conversations about following her. These disclosures provide a very disturbing picture of a widespread culture of abuse and collusion that not only implicates Diddy, but also a wide range of influential people.
She told me that she was at a friend's house who had industry ties and was on the phone with Diddy, and he decided to come to the house. And when he came to the house, everything was fine, that there was another woman there who we've determined to be Christina Coram, KK, who Diddy talks about a lot as his right-hand woman, if you will, and that they were discussing sex trafficking her. And then that led to her being served a drink where then she started to feel woozy. And then Mr. Combs sexually assaulted her with an inanimate object, and then actually directed another gentleman to sexually assault her while he watched and pleasured himself.
Before a neighbor stepped in and phoned the police, the lady was able to flee the horrifying sight while yelling for assistance. But Diddy had already left by the time the cops showed up. Their suspicion lingered while the inquiry was put on hold. Attorney Arielle Mitchell asserts that Diddy has previously used his riches and power to keep his controversies under wraps by using them to quiet the police. Going back to the horrifying claims made about a certain recording, Arielle Mitchell revealed yet another stunning revelation. She was contacted to assist in the selling of a contentious recording that included Diddy and an A-list celebrity. Although she didn't reveal who the celebrity was, she made a suggestion that they could be even more well-known than Diddy. The most terrifying aspect? According to reports, this celebrity was unaware that they were being filmed. This information suggests that Diddy's influence may extend to even higher levels of the entertainment business, adding a sinister undertone to an already complex web of accusations.
Also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow. Can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No,
the
I
tape.
can't explain who the person was, but Mr.
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video. And I can tell the video was pornographic in nature.
Oh my. All right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, did he? And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes. This was actually in his Atlanta home, at
Okay.
a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video. So it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotape.
Diddy's apparent habit of surreptitiously recording his interactions has led to a flurry of conjecture, especially about who this enigmatic A-list personality is. Naturally, Beyoncé has drawn a lot of attention. Rapper DaBaby recently described an eye-opening encounter in Diddy's house, characterizing it as a covert meeting that Diddy and Beyoncé attended, which further heightened the mystery. DaBaby claims that when Beyoncé seemed abnormally amiable, as if something unexpected was about to happen, things became tense. After a while, Diddy threw out everyone else, leaving just Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Diddy. According to DaBaby, Diddy started acting strangely, even snatching him by the neck and showing a disturbing affection for him. There appears to be a recurring pattern of crazy parties and surprising turns involving Hollywood's biggest names and up-and-coming talent whenever Diddy is involved. With Will and Jada Smith now under investigation, the story has expanded to encompass even more well-known figures. After an interview with their former security guard, Dwayne Martin, who said that he saw Will Smith and actor Dwayne Martin having an intimate encounter, allegations surfaced about their relationships with younger guys in the profession.
All right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having with Will.
Let me process that for a second. Who was on top?
It wasn't a top. There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up.
We're going to take legal action. Because it's one thing to have your opinion about somebody versus just making up salacious, malicious stories.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actionable. So we're going to roll with that.
By accusing Bilal of spreading lies and even threatening to sue him, the Smiths have attempted to quiet him. We are going to file a lawsuit. Because having an opinion about someone is one thing, but fabricating vile, offensive tales is quite another. That is actionable. Therefore, we will follow through on it. Bilal, however, is not backing down. In addition to accusing Jada of being a narcissist who wants to be treated like royalty, he maintains that he has the proof to support his accusations. He went on to claim that she suffers from strange addictions, including ecstasy, pornography, and even bestiality, in addition to some severe health problems.
Bald-head liar, and you're a drug addict. If you don't sue me, this is what's going to happen. All the sex parties, right? And the men that you hit with dildos, I'm naming names, right? All the salacious stuff that you have done and hurt other people, I'm naming names.
Jaw-dropping rumors are circulating that Diddy has footage of all the celebrities who attended these infamous parties, from the Smiths to the Carters. Anyone who entered a Diddy party could potentially have their actions recorded, possibly even in the hands of federal authorities right now. Jaguar Wright has made shocking allegations that the Smiths have hosted wild parties where young men were exposed to situations they didn't consent to. Numerous young men have reportedly confided in her about being taken advantage of during these gatherings.
You know, it's no secret in Hollywood that Jada hates me because I have a strong relationship with Will and I do my own thing.
Why don't she hate Dwayne?
I can't answer that question.
Why don't she hate Dwayne Martin?
Well, she's gonna love anybody that treats her like she's a god, right?
Additionally, he isn't actually going too far. Usher removed all of his previous social media postings when Diddy was arrested. Why would he do it, though? Usher may not have been Diddy's only victim, according to sources, since he was reputedly Diddy's manager at one time, assisting Diddy in making connections with Justin Bieber and other young male performers. The shocking fact is that many more victims come forward every day and bring individual lawsuits against the famous people who are said to have caused them damage. White parties hosted by Diddy in the Hamptons are notorious, but what really occurs behind closed doors takes the magnetic playground of this fantasy frenzy to a whole new level. Diddy uses these gatherings as a playground for his wildest fantasies. According to the latest reports, Diddy would invite some of the greatest celebrities in Hollywood, R&B, and rap to his house after the formal part of the event was complete. This was his method of letting everyone depart, with the exception of a select group of individuals he had chosen for his after-party, which was supposedly mostly composed of young guys from the music business. Additionally, there are rumors that Diddy had a particular affinity for specific singers and rappers, and while some of them seemed to support the idea, they chose not to participate in the secret recordings of all the dubious acts. Numerous theories on the internet imply that this well-known individual may be the face of an artificial intelligence app. First of all, Jay-Z and Diddy have maintained a tight friendship over the years. Diddy has even gone so far as to assert that Jay's mother is the only one who is authorized to use his given name. Let's not ignore Jay-Z's controversial background, meanwhile, which has included allegations about his connections with younger individuals. The mother of his purported kid, Ramir Satwa, who was just 16 when Jay-Z reportedly got her pregnant, is involved in one of the most well-known cases. Jay may have refrained from obtaining a paternity test for Ramir because of this. Before Jay-Z and Diddy became closest buddies, they were also connected to R. Kelly, another well-known individual who preys on youth. Additionally, Jay-Z's public relations staff has apparently been making a concerted effort to refute the claims that he is bisexual. On the other hand, rumors tend to persist on the internet. It raises questions since there have been allegations in the past that Jay-Z and former football player Larry Johnson, who formerly worked as a model, lived together for a period. The connection is all the more fascinating given that Johnson has been arrested several times for domestic assault over the years. According to reports, an anonymous source claimed to have observed Jay-Z and Jonan living at Trump Tower, suggesting a close bond, even though Beyoncé was purportedly never there. Jay-Z's actions with Beyoncé have also drawn criticism from fans. In addition to the adultery issue, which we are all aware of, many people have observed that Jay-Z doesn't seem to show her much love in public, even when she gives him praise. Fascinatingly, he once brought another man, two well-known hippo moguls who covertly led a low-key existence, while relishing their popularity, were the subject of an unearthed blind item from the late 1990s or early 2000s. Many fans now think it more directly relates to Jay-Z and Diddy because of the claims made against Diddy, despite initial speculation that it might include Jay-Z and his ex-partner Dame Dash. When this contentious interview was initially posted on Lipstick Alley in 2009, it gave Jazzo's accusations some legitimacy among fans, but it has since vanished from internet platforms. Jay-Z's purportedly secret lifestyle has drawn criticism, particularly in the wake of his initial encounter with Beyoncé. Jay-Z's silence has sparked speculation that he may be a victim himself, perhaps being surreptitiously recorded during friendly exchanges that might be used against him. Diddy could have a huge collection of party recordings that he might use as blackmail against different people in the entertainment sector, according to recent claims. Many well-known people may be staying quiet because of concern that these tapes would be released, particularly if minors were engaged in any of the recordings. It's still unclear whether Diddy will come out with names or be silenced before he can accuse a higher authority. This hypothesis can help to explain Jay-Z's hesitation to break ties with Diddy in the face of mounting controversies and legal issues. Given that investigations reveal minors were involved in the death of a 9-year-old who is now an adult, Diddy faces serious charges that may include a life sentence. On October 1st, attorney Tony Busby made startling accusations against Diddy publicly during a news conference. His company is seeking legal litigation for a number of allegations, including as violence and maltreatment. Notably, almost 3,000 individuals have called to claim that Diddy has traumatized them. Authorities are apparently prepared to reveal more startling information, with over 3,000 individuals willing to come forward, and these victims are prepared to bring the former billionaire responsible.
They got 3,000 calls, and I want you to find that one. Let me just read this here. So, Diddy's list of accomplices to be revealed in a new lawsuit.
Descriptions and links will be posted later. The company has verified the accounts of 120 victims, and that number is anticipated to increase. The demographics of the victims reveal a troubling pattern. Data indicates that Diddy's actions affected a range of demographics, despite early concerns that he targeted Black individuals. 60 men and women reported a broad range of his alleged predatory behavior. Reports state that 25 of the victims were youngsters at the time of the crimes, which took place between 1991 and 2024. 62% of the plaintiffs are African American, 30% are white, and the other plaintiffs are Asian and Hispanic, representing over 25 states. There are significant issues with this. The most shocking findings include the exploitation of a 9-year-old who was coerced into performing sexual favors for a record deal at an audition, and another victim who was taken to New York City and given drink that made him incapable of living. According to other reports, victims were forced into risky situations, like being unconscious during Diddy's parties, where they suffered from torture and assault. Several victims reported finding illicit drugs in their systems, including xylazine, a potent sedative used in veterinary medicine. As the number of victims grew, according to Rice's, a hotline established for anybody wishing to come forward after Busby's news appearance, got more than 200 calls. The team is putting a lot of effort into sorting through the testimony and gathering evidence since they have so many cases. They have even brought in a veteran investigator from the Houston Police Department to assist them. Many victims first encountered a lack of interest when trying to disclose their experiences because Diddy's connections enabled him to influence investigations and scare victims into silence. But those who lack authority suddenly feel confident enough to challenge him. Given Diddy's influence and authority, Busby brought attention to the intricacy of these situations and the challenges victims may have while narrating their experiences. Andy mentioned that. Now, a significant question remains. Why weren't the allegations of Diddy's mistreatment of these individuals part of the first indictment? Approximately 55% of the victims have reported, which will be important evidence in the future. According to legal experts, the issue is still evolving and might lead to further charges as investigations continue. Therefore, it's important to understand the distinction between criminal and civil actions, as they operate under different standards of proof. Civil actions have a lesser standard of proof, which may be particularly challenging when dealing with minors whose memories may be flawed, particularly if medication had a role in an unusual twist. In 1991, a 30-year-old former child who attended a dodgy party in Hampton has come forward. Justin Lovsky, who was there with his father, a photographer, recalls the spooky atmosphere of the party even though he was not a victim.
Recalls what he saw at the party.
So I remember marijuana,
and topless women. That's the two main things that I remember.
Given the inappropriate behavior in the moment and the glaring absence of other children, many people are questioning why Justin was blind to Diddy's questionable behavior. It's crucial to realize that Diddy staged these parties with a family-friendly atmosphere, while the actual chaos happened behind closed doors. Those familiar with the culture could see the stark difference between what likely transpired after hours and a typical Diddy celebration. Defending Justin from the harsher realities of the criminal convictions of Diddy is not the work of the most prominent lobbyist in the country. And despite being the focal point for Diddy, Busby says that other celebrities may face criticism for participating in Diddy's actions as much as for seeing it. Arthur Franklin is one of the well-known individuals connected to Diddy. Jay-Z and Beyoncé Hilton, Kim Kardashian, the City of Paris, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Leonardo DiCaprio, all with their own filing frameworks. Our Busby's strategy involves filing individual lawsuits against 120 victims, rather than seeking a class action. In order to hold Diddy accountable, as well as anybody else who was negligent or complicit, including venue owners, he plans to file a lawsuit against well-known places where incidents are said to have occurred. This will allow for comprehensive public disclosures of the parties involved. Erica Wall, Diddy's attorney, has dismissed Busby's claims of having copious evidence, including police tapes and documents, to support the allegations as being motivated by money, and said that her client denies any wrongdoing. If he can prove that minors were there at these events, he might do Diddy a great deal of damage. In the past, Busby has defended several plaintiffs against NFL player Deshaun Watson, demonstrating his vast expertise handling well-known cases. Busby is actively working to ensure Diddy is held accountable and has already put several claims in touch with federal authorities. Fans are eager to have the truth revealed in court, with many emphasizing the importance of victim testimony and expressing a wish for justice and healing for those affected.